Make me lose when I'm with you. How can I snooze and miss the moment? You just too important. Nobody who body like you do. I can't lose.
Hey, my Shannon dolls. I am back with another sit down. This one will be more about my spiritual journey and the steps of change I'll be taking. And yeah, I just want to share it with you all. Like I told you, I want to take you guys along my journey, and my spiritual journey is no different from my other journeys, breakups, and trying to build a career with being an influencer. All of these things, they're all a part of my journey, all a part of my story, and I want to share them all with you. So if you guys just like, subscribe, and yeah, let's get into the video. Okay, so I think I'm a little bit nervous because this is like complete vulnerability. Like when it comes to spirituality, you don't know how people will take it, you know what I mean? Like everybody has their opinions on if they believe in God, if they believe in a higher power, if they don't believe in God at all. Like, but I can't be afraid because my spiritual journey is a part of me. And if I hide that aspect of myself, then I'm hiding who I really am. In order for the world, or just one person or two people, to know who Shannon Marie really is, they need to see everything. And I am my spirituality. I am my beliefs, you know? So let's get into it. And I wrote down some things just so that I can, one, stay on track, and then two, don't forget, because all day long I have so many thoughts, so many visions, and I forget them because I don't write them down, or I think I'm going to remember and I don't. You know, life is life. I mean, I have a million things going on in my head. I need to write them down, make them plain. You know what I mean? So I have some things, and I just really want to, one, touch on, I say my spirituality because I don't want to talk about, for me, it's not religion. I have such a, I guess, a negative stigma when it comes to religion. I feel like religion divides us as a people. You becoming Buddhist, or you can be Hindu, or you can be Christian, or you can be Jehovah's Witness, or you can be, they all kind of, Catholics, they all kind of divide us as a people. And ultimately, I mean, even if you believe in those different religions, we should still be able to come together. It shouldn't divide us. It shouldn't be different churches. Why can't they all be in one, in my opinion? So I don't like the religion aspect. You know, I grew up in the church as a Christian, and I don't like that stigma. I'm not going to call myself a Christian because I think it takes away that personal relationship that you have with God, or with the higher power, whatever. It makes it less personal to me. It makes it like a ruling over people. You know what I mean? Like, hold on, sorry. Okay, sorry. So I think of it, it feels like a ruling over people. It feels like it's a guideline on what you should and should not do. And it puts this stigma of perfection over everybody. Well, when you're a Christian or you're a Catholic, you're not supposed to do X, Y, and Z, but we are all human. Like, don't put that barrier on me. Don't put me in that box, because I still am going to be me. I'm still going to make mistakes. I'm still going, this is a trial and error. I learn, I make mistakes to learn, you know? And I might hit my head one time, I may hit my head 50 times, but I'm going to learn. That's the process. That's the process of life. That's the process of growth. And I don't want to be in no bubble. I don't want to be capped down. I think that when it comes to God and it comes to my spirituality, it's not even sky's the limit. It's above and beyond. You know what I mean? Like there isn't a limit you don't put on him. You don't put a limit on God. It is more than that. So the guidelines that religion puts on people, to me, is just something that I don't like, something that I'm not comfortable with. And everybody's journey is everybody's journey. If you are the kind of person that needs those boundaries, that strict guideline to how you should worship, how you should praise, how whatever the case may be, then that is you. And I do not judge. I think that everybody's journey is beautiful, but for me, I can't. I don't. It makes me want to run away from God, and that's the last thing that I want to do, because without him, I feel so lost. When I've gotten to a point in my life where I'm like, there can't be a God and it can't be this and that, I felt so lost. It felt so wrong. It felt like, well, then what? What do I feel like I had no purpose. I felt like I'm in this sick game and I'm being toyed with. Like I don't like that aspect. So for me, I 100% do believe in God, but I do not like the religion. Religion makes me run away from it because it makes me feel like I have to be perfect, and it makes me feel like I cannot live. And in order for me to learn, in order for me to understand why my relationship with God is important, I need to live. I need to make mistakes. I need to bump my head a few times. I need to and get back up and pick myself up and figure out why I made this mistake or why God took me through this journey. When you put religion, for me, it puts a cap on it. And I need to be able to explore all that God is trying to give me. I need to receive it all. Okay? So right now I'm on a spiritual journey. There's no religion behind it. It's just my relationship with God and my beliefs. And it's solely wanting to talk directly with him. It's me and him. You know what I mean? I want to hear him. I don't want to hear the naysayers. And I listen to, I 100% still listen to Christian stations. Because I can get a great word out of it. I just don't want that stigma behind it. I'm open to any religion. I want to hear everybody's, because I feel like in order for us to figure it out, you do need everybody. You do need every one of those aspects. It's like how they say it takes a village to raise a family. It does take those different religions in order for you to figure you out, to figure out your journey. You know what I mean? To break generational curses, to all of that, you need all of it. And I'm open to all the opinions and everybody's aspects. It's important to me. So I listen to like Sarah Jake Roberts. It's a lot. There's a lot of different things that I listen to on YouTube. And I was going to church, especially when I was in Colorado. I used to go to the Heritage Christian Center and then the Potter's House of Denver. And I'm still open to finding a church here in Houston, but I'm not making that contract deal that because I go to this church, I'm a Christian. I'm not going to do that. You know what I mean? It feels like it's just about a binding contract that I'm just not willing to, like I'm giving my soul to. You feel like sometimes to the devil, like I'm giving not selling my soul directly to the devil, but church and Christianity can feel evil. Catholics and Baptists and Jehovah's Witness, it could feel evil. And I feel like they put so many caps or boundaries on you so that you can stay within this certain bubble and just move the way that they feel that you should move, but they don't take the time to think about what is God telling this individual. Because it's bigger than that. It's not that I need to be under y'all ruling. We need to figure out what our relationship with God looks like, and everybody's looks different. Don't stop me from being the person I need to be because you don't have the talents I have, or you don't think like I think, or you don't have the visions I have. We put boundaries and put people in a box when we don't understand. And I don't want to be put in a box because you don't understand that I have visions for life that you don't envision, because it's not for you, it's for me. Or because that's not your experience. That's not the gift that God gave you. You know what I mean? Everybody has a gift Figure it out on your own. Don't put people in a bubble because you don't have that. That's envious and jealousy. Everybody's gift is special and unique in their own way, and you take advantage of it and feel proud of it. Just because you don't have my vision to see doesn't mean that yours isn't beautiful on its own. You know what I mean? So I am on a spiritual journey. Sorry, that was long-winded, but I'm on a spiritual journey trying to figure out me and my relationship with God solely, me and his connection. So I want to put that out there right now as far as what that looks like in my life. I am going to be fasting. I'm going to be starting this, I want to say, kind of have started it a little bit, but to say that I'm dedicated and I want to start probably on Sunday, and there's no specific, like it may not even be Sunday, it could be Saturday. It's not a specific day that I'm dedicating to it, like Sunday is Sabbath day or Saturday is Sabbath. It's none of that. I just feel like for me, Sundays are like my reset day to start the week off right. I clean the house and I, wash. I kind of, cleanse my house, sage things down, and just reset the energy. And so that's why I chose Sunday. That's just personal for me. Okay. And I'm going to be fasting from a lot of things. Now, one thing that I'm realizing, especially in my journey of trying to figure out what God has for me, what God needs me to see, and what God has called me, the gift that he has given me, what he is calling me to do, is kind of eliminating. I'm eliminating negativity because my mind is it feels foggy. It's confusion. It feels like it's just smoky, and I need some clarity. I need some clarity through the smoke. You know what I mean? So I am removing a lot of things, and I realized that honestly, it started when I left Colorado. That was it for me. There was so many traumas, so many negative feelings that I had in Colorado, and over time, it just got stronger and stronger. And I love where I was born. I am a native of Colorado. I love it, but it wasn't serving my purpose spiritually. It was making me feel so confused. Too many memories, too many negative experiences. And Colorado is so small, and you don't realize it until you're bumping your head on every fucking memory. Sorry. Like I said, I'm not perfect. Cussing is a part of me, and if God says, take it away, take it out, I'm going to work on it. Understand it's not going to happen overnight. He hasn't told me that yet, and I haven't felt that yet. But I'm not perfect, so don't judge. But I was bumping my head on every fucking thing. You know what I mean? Like, I was hitting my head on everything. And I go one direction and boom, I'm encountered with another memory. Boom, with another memory, So, or a bad experience, or like, it was negative things popping in my head, too consistent. And so that's where the journey really started, when I made the decision that I needed to leave. And ultimately, Houston wasn't my original place. Seattle was it for me. But when I went to Seattle, I realized I was going to be moving there not for me. I was going to be moving there for someone else. I was going to be moving there because I was just desperate to get out. And Texas was the last thing. Like I have said a lot, I would not ever move to Texas. I was like, I don't want. And it's because of so many negative things that has happened. Like as far as people in our skin complexion and just racism, but I understand now that it happens everywhere. In Colorado, I didn't experience it as much until, honestly, when Trump got into office. And I think I more so got into maybe politics, and my eyes was open to something else, but they were bumping into me where I was going to the store and white women was going crazy and calling you nigger this and fuck you niggers, or I'm pulling up into the light at a McDonald's and about to turn, and I don't know what it was. They just saw, it wasn't like music was blasting X, Y, and Z. I wasn't loud, but they, as soon as the light changed, you fucking niggers, and sped off. Like, it was, I was getting into car arguments. Like, everybody was like bold and just coming out and revealing who they were. So I understand that it happens everywhere. So I took that off the table and just realized, well, what can being in Texas do for you? And first it was going to be Dallas. And then I realized I needed something else. I needed a change. Dallas was kind of too safe. It was a family state, and in my journey right now, I have a son, and we are a family, me and my son. But I'm not a wife. I don't have a husband, and it just didn't feel like what the energy that I wanted for myself. I need to experience something, and I don't know what it is yet, but I'm starting to. You know what I mean? I mean, God is opening my eyes to a lot. So I decided on Houston on a whim. Like, did some research, and was like, this is really it for me. Like, I really desire. Honestly, it was how many people come to Houston, as far as the social media and YouTube, and a little bit of the party scene, because like I said, I'm not perfect, and I want to experience the things I'm supposed to experience, and I have been sheltered a lot. Like, I've experienced kid things in Colorado, going out downtown taking pictures, but not adult things. I didn't go to clubs. I didn't do the parties. I tried, and it felt so uncomfortable there. It felt like I couldn't be myself in my own city, honestly. I was afraid maybe to be judged. People, I don't know what it is. And I'm sure as my journey goes on, I will know. And I'll be able to tell you guys exactly what it was. But it just wasn't comfortable for me, you know? And I realized, like, when I go travel, I am a different Chantel. I'm different when I'm going to Miami, going to Las Vegas, or going to Texas, going to Seattle, like, I am different. I'm more open. I'm more openly spoken. And I felt like Colorado was just, it was putting a cap on a lot of things for me, and my voice definitely was one of them. So being here, I feel free. It doesn't solve problems moving. It's not going, debt is still going to follow you. All of these things still follow you, but I feel free to be me. So right now, on Sunday, I'm going to be starting fast. And I realize I've kind of been fasting from some things and removing things already. Like I said, I'm not smoking weed. And at first I was like, I'm going to just drive to Colorado, go get some weed. Like, I've taken that drive many a times, 15 hours there, 15 hours back. Okay, and if I have to sit on the side of the road and sleep for a while, or whatever the case may be, it's not that much gas, especially in my car. Like, I can do it. But then I realized, why am I chasing marijuana? I don't have a problem with it. I honestly love it. I think that it sometimes opens my mind to have the visions that I need for God. I feel like it connects me on a higher level, honestly. But I think right now I need a clear and sober mind. And when I'm ready to get back into smoking weed, it's going to happen, because I'm not eliminating it from my life. I do love smoking weed. And I started smoking weed later in life, so it's not like this is something that I always felt. It's something as a mature adult, I decided I wanted to do. And there were so many health benefits, especially when I started my weight loss journey and getting my gastric bypass. The pain, it helped. I don't like pain medicines. I can't do the prescription drugs. They do something to me, and it makes me feel so unnatural, and it makes me feel out of myself, and it makes me feel physically sick. So weed was like the saving grace in that moment, like helping me eat, because at times with the gastric bypass, it hurt so much that I couldn't eat. It coated my stomach better than over-the-counter drugs or prescription drugs. Like, I vouch for marijuana 100%, and that's not something that I'm going to eliminate out of my life totally. But right now, I'm going to fast from it. One, because can I afford it? I can go. I got to prioritize. Rent, to me, is more important than marijuana. So I'm going to prioritize, and I'm going to take this journey with a clear mind. I've realized that I'm fasting from relationships. I was in such a toxic relationship that I felt like I couldn't see who I am supposed to be. I felt like I couldn't be who I was supposed to be. The relationship felt like how Colorado felt to me. Like I cannot have a voice. And when I tried to, there was always me bumping my head. Oh, he doesn't like this, and it's a fight of this, and it's a fight that. Every time you turn around, it's a fight. And it got to the point where I couldn't be patient, and I was yelling too much because in my mind, it felt like I had to yell to get my point across. And I didn't realize that no matter if I yelled, if I whispered, my point wasn't going to get across because that relationship wasn't meant for me. And I have to be honest with myself. I felt it. I felt it for a while ago, and I was fighting it, thinking that I'm stopping myself from having true love because when times were good, it felt good in a moment, but those good times did not last as long as the bad times did. And even during the good times, you still had that feeling in your gut. There was always second guessing. My mind was too cloudy in the relationship. It was too toxic, and I couldn't breathe. I was suffocated. I felt like I just couldn't be me. I felt like it was putting a cap on me and muffling my voice, muffling who I'm supposed to be, muffling Chantel. It was trying to silence me, and I wouldn't allow it. I was rebelling against it so much that everything was a screaming match for me. Everything was it was such high anxiety and such anger and such frustration and not figuring out where it's coming from. I was rebelling against all of it. The relationship wasn't for me. So I fasting from that. I'm removing it completely and realizing that it's a new relationship that needs to be started. Not a relationship with another man yet. It's a relationship with God. That's what I need to work on. Those are the things right now that are important to me. And I'm going to wholeheartedly hold on to that for a long while. I mean, ultimately, this is not just a journey temporarily, especially when it comes to my relationship with God. That's a lifelong journey. But this fasting, I'm going to give myself 30 days. And if I feel like I need to
Boy, nobody who body like you do. I can't lose.